Hi, we're here to talk about the rigid 258 and 258 XL cutters. Specifically, these cutters are going to cut steel and stainless steel large capacity. The machine directly in front of me is the 258. That's going to handle 2.5 to 8 inch pipe. The 258 XL will cover 8 inch to 12 inch pipe. Now within both of these cutters you have your standard cutting wheel, but you also have a thinner blade one to handle your stainless steel as well. So when this does a cut, it actually works a little bit differently than a standard chop saw or band saw. This actually does a displacement cut, very similar to a tubing cutter. So instead of chopping or cutting directly through it, it actually pushes that material out of the way. The advantage of that is that you get a very, very nice clean cut every single time. Versus a band saw or a chop saw, there's going to be a lot of cleanup involved once you've made that cut. So in order to operate the 258 and 258 XL properly, you're going to need a few accessories. First and foremost, you always need the cutter and a square drive adapter. Within the square drive adapter, you always take your 700 power drive. 700 power drive will attach directly to the square drive adapter, and that's what actually mechanically rotates that blade. With that, you're also going to need some support stands. On shorter runs, you typically only need one support stand. What that's going to do is allow you to keep that pipe nice and level and supported. On longer runs, it's always recommended that you use 2 support stands on either side of the machine. It's always good to position them closer to the machine versus further away, because by having them closer to the machine itself, as it makes a cut, it'll help kind of pull away the pipe from itself when you make that cut. Versus having it further out, it can kind of come inward and bind up that blade and sometimes damage it as well. Last accessory that you'll need is the hydraulic foot pump. The hydraulic foot pump is what you're going to step on while you're doing the cut and actually force and engage that blade directly into the pipe. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the beveler. You do have a beveling option within the cutter, so instead of cutting, you have the option to bevel, where this will basically position itself right up underneath the blade, and what that's going to do is help turn and rotate that pipe. Or you can have an angle grinder to clean up the outer edge if needed. And it makes it very simple, so you're not having to rotate around the pipe. You can just hold it in one position while that pipe rotates. So as far as setup, we'll take our 700 power drive, place it directly into the machine. So once you have the 700 power drive in place, we want to take our hydraulic foot pump, get the pressure relief valve to open it, and slide it directly into the back. Once that's in place, the foot pump itself, go ahead and hit it a few times, and go ahead and engage it into the pipe. So once you've done that, you're all set to go. So we'll hit our 700 power drive and get it rotating and start the cut. One thing to point out is while you're operating the machine, for basically every one full rotation of the pipe, you want to go ahead and step on that foot pump to go ahead and push the blade further into the pipe. So now that we've done a nice clean cut, you'll see the outer edge is very clean. Looks good. The inside edge, you might need a little bit of cleanup on that. So that's why we offered the beveler option. So what the beveler will allow you to do is rotate the pipe, and when you have an angle grinder, basically sit in one position so you're not having to actually rotate around the pipe. Let the pipe turn for you. So with that beveler option, go ahead and slide the pipe out a little bit and slide this right up underneath the 258 as such. So the blade itself is going to engage right between the 2 rollers. Go ahead and step on the foot pump to go ahead and get it engaged. we're all set to go. Power the 700 power drive. So once the 700 power drive is in place and it's rotating the pipe, you can now take your angle grinder and hold it in one spot to go ahead and clean up the rest of that pipe. So that's what we have is the 258 and 258 XL cutters. Once again, covers steel and stainless steel large capacity pipe. 258, 2.5 to 8 inch, and the 258 XL 8 inch to 12 inch.